So let's go straight to our review for the movie titled Love's Convict. So this movie stars Daniel Etim Effiong, Audrey Harrison, and Blessing Nze. Now, this movie talks about a girl who was convicted for a crime she did not commit. So she was supposed to do 5 years in jail, but I think she served fewer years, and then she was released out of prison for good character. So when she came out, life was tough for her because her dad did not want her, because her dad felt like she disgraced the family, and then she had no option but to put up with a friend. So somehow, I don't want to give you all the spoilers. So but somehow she crossed paths with this politician who was contesting to become the governor of that state. Now the thing about this politician was played by Daniel Etim. He was contesting to be the governor, but he was a really good guy. They didn't really give us much details about how he made his wealth, but he was a very wealthy guy in the movie. So he has a best friend who is also his campaign manager. So his best friend suggested to him that if he really wants to become the governor, that he needs to have like a wife or a fiance, something like the first lady to be. So not knowing that his friend also arranged a lady who was going to pose as the first lady to be. So somehow the friend linked up this lady with Daniel Etim, who's the governor to be. So it turns out that this same lady, she has a history with Audrey Harrison, who's playing the ex-convict girl. So there is something that Daniel Etim does, the governorship aspirant. He always disguises himself as a commoner and he drives a bus just to interact with the common citizen. Now there's a part that effing pissed me off in this movie. Like really pissed me off in this movie. And that's the part where Audrey Harrison's friend said that she wanted to read Audrey's palm. Now this girl was just looking at Audrey's palm like who was turning a bar, checking her palm and saying, I see a dragon, I see a cat, I see this, I see that. It was so effing annoying because I thought that they were going to give a background story in the movie later to explain to us why the friend could suddenly read somebody's palm. Although the friend said she wanted to do it for fun, but it didn't make any sense. And they wasted a lot of time in that movie, in that particular scene rather. That scene was about, let me just say, I don't know, but it was long because the entire movie is like nearly 2 hours. And it didn't make any sense. And even the way the friend was doing it, I don't want to downplay somebody's acting, but the friend's acting wasn't so nice. And even the directors of the movie, to put that scene in the movie didn't make any sense. Honestly, that part really pissed me off. One day he crossed paths with this girl who's the ex-convict, and they had a conversation, and then they even discussed to the point where she even told him that she was in search of a job and she hadn't gotten a job. So he gave her a business card. He told her that she should contact that person, that the person was going to help her, that the person owes him a favor. So she took the contact, she contacted the person, and turns out that she was going to be working with Daniel Etim himself. But remember that he disguised himself as the poor driver, so she did not recognize him. I wanted to complain about that part, but then I thought that they checkmated it, but because she only met him once. So let me say, somebody you met once, you cannot really say that you can remember the person's face. As a matter of fact, I meet people that today, I can meet people over and over again for a week and I won't still know them. So that part is okay. So that part is very understandable. So they continued the campaign, and the ex-convict girl, she was working for the governorship aspirant, which is Daniel. So currently the campaign manager, who is Daniel's very close friend, and then the lady they were trying to matchmake him for the first lady, it turns out to also have a history with the campaign manager. So it was drama in like the household, the campaign team of Daniel Etim. So they were trying to do lots of blackmail and lots of things going on, because even the friend who is the campaign manager, he had his own ulterior motive. I'm not going to let you know that. Go and watch the movie so you understand the ulterior motive that his friend had as well. So it was a very chaotic and scene, because people with different interests had to work together, and Daniel was someone in the loop who trusted these people but did not know that they had different ulterior motives. So Daniel started liking the ex-convict girl, which is Audrey, but his friend really wanted him to be with the other lady, which is Blessing Nze, whom he had already done a matchmaker or something for Daniel. So that was the drama. They had their moments and everything in the movie. And saying all that now, I just want to point out a few aspect of the movie that I feel they could have done better. I feel like Nollywood movies, they should try to lay more emphasis into even the minor scenes, because you see, like these foreign movies, they don't take anything for granted. I think they did a lot of effort not really making this movie just like one house, parlor, room, dining, but I think it still gave that feeling because everything was mostly like indoors, indoors, indoors. Even the place where Blessing Inze was always meeting up with Daniel Etim's friend also felt like another room in the apartment, because they were always meeting up inside a bedroom, bedroom. Even the offices she was going to for interviews where they turned her and said that they were not going to give her the job, it also felt like another section. So I felt like they did quite a good job with the movie. It's much better than the other movie which I did a review, but I still think that they did not do enough. And another thing I want to point out in this movie is that he was a governorship aspirant. If you've watched King of Boys, you will notice that in King of Boys they paid a lot of attention to the campaign, and that's what made that movie exceptional. But this movie, he's a governorship aspirant, and most of the scenes that happened in the movie happened inside the living room that just had flyers of him as a governorship aspirant. He never really went out, he never really interacted with people. There was no campaign, there was no nothing about the whole governorship. I'm not saying that they should do 10 scenes, but I think they should give us that feeling that he's really campaigning, like maybe show his opponent or something like that, him talking with a crowd of people. But I know that they do all these things to cut budget, but I think anything we're doing is worth doing well. So finally, for me, I would rate this movie let me just see, what will I rate this movie? I would rate this movie like I would rate this movie like let me just give it a 6. A 5 over 10. Because the reason why I would rate this movie a 5 over 10 is that the storyline is super amazing. They put in a lot of effort in the movie, but I still feel that a lot of things was skipped in the movie. And if you disagree with my rating and everything, I understand, because we all see things from different perceptions. But my rating of these Nollywood movies is in comparison with the Hollywood standard and all those big movies. So this is my rating. Don't forget to follow my channel for my next movie review. Thank you very much. Great actors, fantastic movie. Always remember that the purpose of me criticizing movies is to make Nollywood better. Thank you.